everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. We're here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good people. We have Ernie and Greg up in the corner. They're producing. Actually, Ernie's learning how to produce, and he's going to be with us next week running the show. So thank you, both you guys, for doing what you're doing. We really appreciate you. And we have Ernestine. She's going to be doing our affirmations and our readings. And of course, the one, the only Barb and Salo.
Yay! Good morning.
Would you do the opening prayer?
So I just invite you to take a deep breath. Breathe it in. Breathe on all the love, all the peace, all the truth, all the harmony. Just let go of anything that might be distracting right now from that place of oneness, that place of peace. And so I just know that this service unfolds in ease and grace and effortlessness. And everything that is said is what needs to be said, and everything that needs to be heard is heard. And that we are all one with the one with the divine, one with all that is all of the time. And an absolute gratitude for the opportunity to provide the service and present this teaching to the people here in the room and to everyone watching everywhere. I just am so grateful.
Yes.
Grateful for knowing that we are one with the one power and the one presence, one with each other and one with all that is. Grateful for all that unfolds this morning. Grateful for all that is. And so I just release it. I let it go. I allow it to be. And together we all say,
And
So it is.
Yay.
What a great way to start the day.
Yes.
And here's an even better way. We got Barb and Salo presenting a wonderful song for us to enjoy.
Excellent. And here's a song about intentional living by Karen Drucker. I start my day. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, that's what I get more of, is peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, that's what I get more of, is peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, that's what I get more of, is joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, that's what I get more of, is joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love.
you. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Yes, announcements.
I do. Like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to contact us and sign up to receive our emails so we can let you know what's going on. You can go to the prayer request and request prayer that we'll pray on all week, and also the prayers that Stephan Anthony writes and the affirmations that he writes every week are out there, plus several others from weeks prior. If you shop on Amazon and you haven't selected another nonprofit, please do select Centers for Spiritual Living North Metro as your charity, and then when you shop, we'll get paid. So that's really nice. You've already met our guest artists, Barb Heinzelman and Salo Stanley, which we're extremely excited about. And today's reading is from The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And that's it for me.
So we got Ernestine coming back to do our affirmations and our reading.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's see, affirmations, and I need them on the screen, but I could do it without the screen, I guess. Affirmations for the week of September 19th, 2021. Please repeat after me. Every day I am on a path to greater learning and enlightenment. I live truly meaningful and perfect. Wait a minute. I live a truly meaningful and purposeful life. Love has its purest expression in, through, and all around me. I experience and accept more good than I ever thought possible. I express kindness and compassion in my words, thoughts, and actions. I am empowered and fulfilled in my oneness with the Spirit. And together we say, and so it is. Okay, the reading today is from the book, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. When a human is born, the emotional mind and the emotional body is completely healthy. Maybe around 3 or 4 years of age, the first wounds in the emotional body start to appear and get infected with emotional poison. But if you observe children who are 2 or 3 years old, you see how they behave. They are playing all the time. You see them laughing all the time. Their imagination is so powerful, and the way they dream is an adventure of exploration. When something is wrong, they react and defend themselves. But they just let go and turn their attention to the moment again, to play again, to explore and have fun again. They are living in the moment. They are not ashamed of the past. They are not worried about the future. Little children express what they feel, and they are not afraid to love. The happiest moments in our lives are when we are playing just like children, when we are singing and dancing, when we are exploring and creating just for fun. It is wonderful when we behave like a child because it is the normal human mind, the normal human tendency. As children, we are innocent, and it is natural for us to express love. But what has happened to us? What has happened to the world? And together we say, And so it is.
And our next song
Another song.
is
Yay.
Yay!
Let's hear from Barb and Salo again.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Our next song is an old spiritual song, but we've kind of rearranged it to be really inclusive of all the paths that go up to the top of the mountain.
All right.
So here is our rendition of Jesus on the Main Line. Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. You can call him up, tell him what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell it what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell it what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell it what you want. Call it up, tell it what you want. Mother Mary's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Mother Mary's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Mother Mary's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. You can call her up, tell her what you want. Buddha's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. Buddha's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. Buddha's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. You can call him up, tell him what you want. Kuan Yin's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Kuan Yin's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Kuan Yin's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. You can call her up, tell her what you want. Shiva's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Shiva's on that main line, you can tell her what you want. Shiva's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. You can call him up, tell him what you want. Muhammad's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. Muhammad's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. Muhammad's on that main line, you can tell him what you want. You can call him up, tell him what you want. If you feel like praying, you can tell them what you want. If you feel like praying, you can tell them what you want. If you feel like praying, you can tell them what you want. You can call them up, tell them what you want. If you feel like dancing, you can tell them what you want. If you feel like dancing, you can tell them what you want. If you feel like dancing, you can tell them what you want. You can call them up, tell them what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell them what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell them what you want. Spirits on that main line, you can tell it what you want. You can call it up, tell it what you want. You can call it up, tell it what you want. You can call it up, and tell it what you want.
Way to go, sisters. Oh, they're gone. It went way too fast.
Well, they can hear us.
Oh, that's true. We'll have you back a little later. Here we are again.
Here we are.
Another Sunday, and we're ready to rock and roll. I did some thinking this. What was this yesterday? Actually.
You did some thinking yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
That's good. That's good.
And I got caught thinking about the brain and how interesting a thing it is. And for some odd reason, I decided I needed to look up, see how much it weighed. So I looked it up and it said it weighs about 3 pounds. So I grabbed my computer, went in the bathroom and weighed my computer, and it weighed 2 pounds. I was thinking, wow, isn't a brain amazing? I can do all this stuff and so much more. And this computer just needs us in order to function. And it crashes. Sometimes we crash. I've had a few crashes in my life, both car and otherwise. But in that same place where I saw that the brain weighed 3 pounds, I saw this information. The brain is in charge of controlling the bodily functions. It interprets information. It embodies the essence of the mind and the soul. It embodies the essence of the mind and the soul. To me, that's saying that the mind is larger than the brain. The brain thinks, but the mind is what thinks our thoughts. So there's a distinctive difference when you think of the mind. And for us in New Thought, the mind is actually the one mind, that which knows everything, and it's always available to each and every one of us. And then I started to think a little more, dangerous thing, and I started wondering about this thing called time, and how sometimes there's, how can I say it? Sometimes something goes by fast and it seems like it goes by slow, and sometimes things go by slow and it seems like it goes by fast. I can remember once I was, I had a motorcycle when I lived in Los Angeles, and it was my only means of transportation. Don't ask me why I did that, but I did. And I was driving down Vine Street, getting ready to turn on Highland Street, and I went around the corner, and this guy was driving on the wrong side of he was driving over the yellow line, and I had to meet him head on. And in that moment, time seemed to slow down immensely because I didn't have a helmet on. I remember thinking I need to turn my bike so I didn't go straight into it. And my shoulder hit the van, and I went flying, and so did my bike. And everything was slow, and I got up, and I see this woman yelling, get out of the way, get out of the way. She's like in a Mercedes, and I guess a model or something, was late for her job or something. But it's like, oh yeah, I got to get out of the way. And I went to pick up my bike and passed out. And I woke up in an ambulance. But that time that I went flying through the air, and I made all this decision. I remember thinking, I got to not hit my head. And it was just like that, but it was so slow. Then there's times where you get caught into the place where you're not like what's going on. You're doing maybe some activity that's drudgery, and time slows down immensely. And it has a way of dragging on and on. And when we look back at our lives, it seems like time went by so fast, yet there's still so much time left. So the mind tries to interpret all these things as it's going on, and the mind doesn't. The brain tries to interpret all these things. The mind knows what is, that there is no such thing as time. There's no such thing as space. It's all just part of this vast intelligence, this vast, magnificent presence that created everything outside of time and space. And I like to think, I do like to think once in a while. And I like to think that this thing that we call eternality takes us from experience to experience. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what the time limits are. It doesn't matter whether it's going by slow or going by fast. What matters is, like what the reading said, we stay in the present. We find the joy in what we're doing. If it's drudgery, find the joy in it. Find a reason to be doing it joyfully. And I try my best to do things joyfully every day. When I woke up this morning, I wasn't too joyful because the alarm clock went off and it was too early. But I found the joy because last night this idea for what I was going to talk about just wouldn't come. It wouldn't come. But all of a sudden, I wake up this morning. I wrote on when we check in. I wrote, "Put on your happy face today," because that makes a difference.
Yes.
Putting on your happy face makes all the difference in the world. It makes time disappear because you're just joyful to be wherever you are, doing whatever you want to be doing, and I think that's a good habit to get into. You've heard Reverend Valerie and I talk on many occasions about the heart-brain connection, that the heart has a brain, and it thinks, it remembers, and it needs to connect to the brain in order for us to really live the dynamic life that we were meant to live. I'm going to take a little break because my voice is... Thank you, honey.
Yeah, you kind of do that to
Little
me.
curveball, I
It's
know,
like,
sorry.
but I'm not going to talk about anything like you talked about. So when I was going through the book, The Mastery of Love, Don Miguel Ruiz talks about how the truth of our being is that we are present here to learn things, and that we come in, like the reading said, joyful little people, and we experience our life and we just take it, and when we're upset, and then we're over it. And it couldn't help when I was reading the reading about thinking, I have a 2-year-old grandson and a 3-year-old grandson, and that's exactly how they are. It's like so much fun to be around them because they just play. And then when they're upset, they just cry. And when they're over it, they're over it. And I had that opportunity last week to be with both of them. And we had a really good time. But then often I have the 2-year-old by himself. And he's just, he'll go sit in the sandbox for an hour. And one day, he sat out there, and you know, when you put water and sand and then it dries, there's all these little clod-like things. He spent about an hour finding those little sand balls and popping them. And then he'd go, pop, and then he'd go, and he just like one after another. And he was just absolutely engrossed in what he was doing, having a great time, didn't have to have anything else, didn't have to do anything else. And then when he was done with it, he was done with it.
Yeah.
And it reminds me when I'm around little kids like that, that we can be like that too. And I think I've spent a lot of my life waiting for the next thing. I can remember when I was a little kid, and it's like, you can't wait for your birthday. And then you can't wait for Christmas. And then you can't wait for Easter. And then you can't wait for summer. And then you can't wait for school to start. And then you can't wait for Thanksgiving. And then when you get a little older, you wish you let it go a little slower. You weren't so eager to have the time pass.
Well, you're eager to get to be 21.
Yeah, that's true. So, and Reverend Michael said this morning, our oldest granddaughter is turning 22 this year, and we're going, how did that happen? I mean, she was just a 3-year-old, like not very long ago. And so it's really fun. So we have 2 to 22. Oh, yeah. And then we have a great grandchild is he 2?
Yeah.
So anyway, so as adults, instead of being that joyful person, we have allowed the brain to send us in different paths, to experience fear that everything's not going to go the way we need it to, or we're not going to be safe, or something's going to happen that we don't like. And we allow it to create what happens in our lives, because what we think about expands. And so when we're in that place of fear, then the things that we're fearful of, we're actually bringing toward us as we're doing that. And so sometimes in order to get rid of that fear, then we focus our attention maybe on somebody else that's doing something that we don't like, so that then we can be judging instead of fearing. And so all of those things that we do, the fearfulness, the judging ourselves and others, are all bringing us out of that space of the absolute divine mind and everything being perfect, just what it is. And when we think about time, think about sometimes this period of time when we think we're this body, and that's reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I know I've said this before, but the body's in the soul, and the soul's eternal, and we're just having this experience to learn the things we're here to learn. And so one of the things we're here to learn is that we really can be happy all of the time.
Yes.
We really can stop or start. We can start noticing when the brain wants to do all those things that the brain does. You know, when the brain wants to judge, or when the brain wants to be fearful, or when the brain wants to talk about what we should have done or could have done or would have done. We can go back to that place where we're just in the now, just in the realization of who and what we are right now. That everything right now is absolutely perfect. And we can begin to accept others just like they are. We can begin to accept ourselves just like we are. Ernest Holmes said a thing about how when we start to judge, we can understand that we don't know anything about that other person, even if it's somebody we know really well. We don't really know what's going on with them. We don't really know what they're going through. And we can just allow them to be what they're being, because right now they're being the best that they can be without getting attached to needing to judge it and change it. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. And that can only happen when there is a brain-heart connection.
Right.
Because the brain will try to interpret, will judge, has the tendency to fall into the ego and take over. Where when the brain and the heart connect, something miraculously happens. There's an understanding, but there's a feeling, and that combination is grand. I remember Victor Borge once said, the shortest distance between two people is laughter.
That's a good one.
And when you think about it, it's also the shortest distance between the heart and the brain, because the brain sometimes doesn't get jokes. It's just like, oh, that was nice. But when it connects with the heart feels it, it gets it, and the brain interprets it, and the combination opens us up to something more spectacular. So we can find joy, we can laugh and connect that connection. I measured my brain to my heart this morning, and it was like 12 inches. And I was like, wow, that's not a very long distance. It is a long distance when they need to connect, yes, because it can take forever. It can take the longest time. So sometimes the longest time feels like the shortest time, and the shortest time feels like the longest time. And we as individuals can always tune out to that place wherever you're at, and thinking you need to know something or you don't know enough, and just tune into the center of your being and know who you are. Because what? Go ahead. Because the heart knows who you are, and the brain can understand it from the heart, and the combination can bring you to that place of joy, to be happy, to be joyous, to be in the moment. And if you're doing something that you absolutely love, even though it's taken a long time. I can remember when I was writing my book, and I had a day job. I was working for this production company, and a few times I'd come home from work, it'd be 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I'd eat and I'd start writing, and the next thing I know, it was morning. I wrote all through the night, and I didn't even have any concept that amount of time went by. And even though it took a long time, it went by so fast. I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to keep writing. So it's interesting how when we just focus on where we're at and who we are, two important things. Where am I at? And who am I? I am a child of God. I am the perfect emanation of the Most High. And I'm right here and right now. I'm a child of God, and I'm right here and right now. Thanks, Iron.
That's okay. When you were talking about the brain and the heart, I read somewhere the other day, and I really don't remember where it was, that when a person has heart surgery and even a heart replacement, that when that heart starts beating and starts circulating the blood through, it's not connected to the brain yet. It's the heart doing all of that. So that fact that there's a heart in the brain, a brain in the heart, is really pretty miraculous when you think about it. And if we allow that connection, and so that the heart's telling the brain how to react and how to do, as opposed to the brain going, man, because I know that's what mine can do. It's like it can tell me all the things that are wrong and all the things that I could have, should have done, or all the things somebody else could have, should have done. And when we take that time to just open up the heart and appreciate that person, and like it's so easy to do when you have just that tiny little person who is just, I don't know, just joyful all the time. We can be that way with everyone. We can just be that space of an open heart. I've noticed just saying hello to perfect strangers and have them just light up. We were walking yesterday, and this guy was driving by on the motorcycle, and he had this most pleasant look on his face. And I was thinking to myself, should I just wave at him or should I just let him go by? So he looked at me and he smiled at me and he went like this. So he knew what I was doing. He knew I was thinking about, well, should I wave at him? Should I not wave at him? And so he's just like, yeah, you should wave at him.
Peace.
So,
Peace be still.
So I know, I think we forget about the fact that our energy field is so much larger than we are. And that people, we're in their energy field and they're in our energy field like all the time. Like I know that guy was catching my energy while I was, and he was a ways away at the time because I had time to look at him, think about it. He had time to do his thing and I had time to wave before he passed on by.
And he's actually moving at a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
So all that took place again in time, just having no effect.
But I think we forget that other people are in our energy field and we're in other people's energy field. And so I think that, well, I know that we've all had that experience of knowing when somebody else is upset, just not being able to tell by the look on their face, but just feeling that energy like, whoa. And sometimes I have a problem being in a large group of people. Like I really like small groups of people better because sometimes the energy in that large room just kind of, well, I don't know, just kind of allow me to not be able to feel myself. And so I have to like go out and get centered before I go back in. And sometimes I just have to go take breaks. But I wanted to talk about, this is from the Mastery of Love. He says, the need to be right is the result of trying to protect the image we want to project to the outside. We have to impose our way of thinking, not just on other humans, but even upon ourselves. Mm. So that's a thing I've been working on for a long time. Not being okay to make a mistake, not needing to know all the answers, not being right all the time. Because it was one of those things that I was the oldest of 4, and I was responsible for everything. And I was responsible for them and for me and for getting straight A's. And I can just go on and on and on about all the things I was responsible for. And I know better now. But some of those things are so ingrained that even though we know better, like I asked Reverend Michael something this morning, something inconsequential, and should I do this or that? And he's like, which is the easiest? And I'm like, I never think of things that way. That's like a new way of thinking for me. Which one is the easiest? Well, probably not doing it. Okay.
No loss.
Well,
Nothing gained, nothing lost.
truly. And it was such a realization to me as I said that. I don't think about things that way. I think about, is this the right thing to do? Should I do this? Should I add that? Should I not, like, oh, which would be the easiest? So it's just a little bit for me. So in talking about this, we get the opportunity to accept ourselves the way we are, to just be okay with ourselves and with everyone else. If we're all doing the best we know how to do at the time, then that's what we're supposed to be doing. And it doesn't mean that we have to be perfect, and it doesn't mean we aren't loved if we aren't perfect, and it doesn't mean we get to or need to judge anybody else when they're not. And one of the other things that Don Miguel Ruiz said is, it's our job to be happy. That's what we're here for, is to be happy. It's like, that's a new one for me too.
Yeah, you're just so miserable.
Well, it's not that. It's that
You're happy.
there are so many to-dos that sometimes
Oh.
I get into the to-dos instead of the be. And I know we've talked about this over and over, and it's a thing I constantly get to remind myself. It's that it doesn't all need to get done today. And I think that's a really big deal, to be. I'm more of a human doing than I am a human being most of the time.
You like filling time.
What does that mean?
You like filling time
What's
with activity.
what that needs to be done?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes you just let go and let God. And because of who she is and who I am, we're kind of balanced that way. We balance each other out. I probably play too much, and and she does that. But we all do it in a healthy way. I mean, we've been together how many years?
20.
20 years.
How did that happen?
Talking about time, it goes. But I think we maybe had 2 big arguments, maybe 3.
They were a while ago.
Yeah, a long while ago. So getting back to the time element, time heals all things, time reveals all things, and time does not exist. So I encourage you to just practice every once in a while, living outside the realm of time and space. I don't have any way of telling you how to do that, but I know that I can practice it. And maybe it's just going within and allowing yourself to just be in the moment. And whatever it tells you to do, just do it. Do it in a fun fashion way. And time will just slip away because it won't matter. It won't have any significance. At least for me, it doesn't.
Well, I think I have more things to do than you do too.
Yeah, purposely.
No, some of it's because
Here we go.
you can't.
This is fun having 2 ministers, a male and a female, because you get to see life as it unfolds before you.
Because you just go like this with the technical things, and so that lets me do them all.
But nobody's there telling you have to do it.
Oh, I am. So I want to just, when I was reading.
That was a moment in time.
That was a moment. We have those, but we don't hang on to it.
Nah.
So I was reading How to Change Your Life by Ernest Holmes, and this is one of the things he said. And I just want to invite you to kind of repeat these to yourself after me, because they really impacted me when I read it yesterday. I am filled with the life and the love of God. You can say it out loud. Go ahead.
I'm filled with the life and the love of God.
I feel strong and vibrant.
I feel strong and vibrant.
God's God's life surges through my entire body.
God's life surges through my entire body.
I function normally, wholesomely, and effectively.
I function normally, wholesomely, and effectively.
The power and perfection of God flow through me constantly and keep me, I can't read that, in superb health.
I better break that
I
down.
do. Okay, the power and perfection of God flow through me.
The power and the perfection of God flow through me
Constantly. And keep me in superb health.
And keep me in superb health.
I'll have to write better next time. I rejoice in emotional wholeness.
I rejoice in emotional wholeness.
I mean, what if we just said that to ourselves every time we think about, I got too much to do, or I feel a little bit upset, or I'm starting to think somebody else should do a thing differently than they do.
My brain sometimes lock onto something. And it locked onto that thing called normal. I was like, am I normal?
I think the whole point is we're all normal. Wherever we are, whatever we are on the range of wherever we are, that's who we came here to be.
Normal me.
Normal me and normal you and normal everybody else. And so when we start thinking anybody else should be other than how they are and who they came here to be, then we're back to the judging thing we talked about before, where we're judging ourselves and others and thinking there's only one thing that's normal, or one thing that's the thing to do, or one thing that's the way to be, because we're all here as that vibrancy of spirit, sharing where we are on the planet and learning the things we came here to learn, so that when we go, we take it with us to the next time we do this thing.
Yes. That was very well put.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good.
I thought so.
So you're looking at me. Do you want me to talk some more, or are you complete?
Well, you can talk some more. It doesn't have affect my completion. So I encourage you to talk as much as you want. It's one of those days, look, folks.
I think I must be done. Okay.
Prayer will clear
Let's
it all
do
up.
that.
Yeah.
So just simply, just let go and relax into the right here and right now, into the oneness, the allness, the isness, the absolute perfection of the one life, the one power, the one presence. Knowing it is everywhere. It is right here in this room. It is each one of us. It is the computers and the internet and all of the paraphernalia that we have in order to be able to do this thing called Sunday service. It is the trees and the rain and the mountains and the rivers and the plants and the animals and the bugs, and it is the solar system, and it is the galaxies that we can see and know about, and the ones that we know about that are billions of light years away, and it's more than that. It is absolutely all there is, and it is beyond our capacity to understand its complete capacity, because it's that much and that big, and it's all that. And so I know that right where each one of us is, that spirit and that power and that presence and that love and that life and that oneness and that allness and that foreverness is right where we are. Right here, the truth of my being, the truth of Reverend Michael's being, the truth of each person present here today, the truth of each person watching us online now and later, and everyone everywhere, and everything everywhere. And so I know that as we begin to focus on that which we want and release that which we don't want, we create more of it in our life. And so I focus on our oneness, our allness, our isness, the truth of our being absolutely eternal beings. And I know for us in this body that we experience loving relationships and peace and truth and harmony and abundance and prosperity and opportunities and compassion and harmony and oneness. And I just know that this and so much more is manifesting for each one of us in our lives and in the lives of our loved ones and in the life of everyone everywhere, right here and right now. I know that that is the truth because that's how this works. As we expand our mind and expand our being, we expand our beingness and we expand our experience and we accept more and more comes to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so grateful to know that this word is complete in the mind of God, grateful to know that it is manifesting right here and right now for each one of us. And in that absolute gratitude, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And so, knowing that where two or more are gathered, there God is amongst us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we fit that bill. We are two or more. So I invite you in this moment, in the silence of your own being, just put out what it is, what your prayer is. What would you like for prayer this day?
Yes.
One thing that you'd like prayer for. And see it as already done.
Mm-hmm.
And each and every one of us see for everybody, even though you don't see them, all of them, see for them that theirs is done and complete.
Yes.
Just take a moment to embody that.
Yes.
And so accepting that which Reverend Valerie spoke into the law, accepting that and everybody's private prayer requests. It's not private because God knows.
That's right.
I accept it all.
Yes.
Knowing that it's complete and fulfilled right here and right now.
Yes.
And for this, I say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Thank you, life. This word is complete and done. So I invite you all to say along with me.
And so it is. Amen. Amen. Aho. And woohoo. Music, come.
Yay. Oh, that was wonderful. We so enjoy you too. Oh, keeping with that wonderful spiritual mind treatment and that message. Don't plant your dreams in the field of indecision. Don't plant your dreams in the field of indecision. Nothing ever grows but the weeds of what if. Nothing ever grows but the weeds of what if. Don't plant your dreams in the field of indecision. Be strong, be brave, and be decisive. Be strong, be brave, decisive. Your fields will be beautiful and full. Your fields will be beautiful and full. Be strong, be brave, and be decisive. Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen.
Wow.
Yay.
Thank
I love
you.
that song.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of our
Yeah.
favorites too.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing it with us today.
Thank
It was
you.
very timely and well received.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll be right back to you. We got a little business to take care of. And as you see, a basket in my face. This is the basket of prosperity and abundance. Because as you give, so you shall receive,
That's right.
multiplied in the glory and the thankfulness of pure spirit. So we're asking you to open up your heart and think about sending some of your tithe or all your tithe, or maybe it's the first time you've tithed and you want to test it out, see how it works. Whatever, we're open to receiving and giving back to the world. So open your heart.
Yeah. And giving is the spiritual principle.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And the more you give, the more you receive. So, yay. Ways to give. If you use Venmo, you can put your phone right on that QR code and takes you right to us. And you can go to our website, and there are a couple ways to give there. There's PayPal and a couple other ways. You can text us, YUGIVE, to 888-364. Oh, wait. Okay. 888-364-GIVE.
Why you?
Why?
Why not you?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Let's give it
Okay.
a try.
Okay. So, you want to
Let's.
you want to bless
Yeah.
what's coming in?
Is Mercury in retrograde or something?
Well, you are.
Yeah, I'm a Mercury sign too. All right, here we go. So I'm shutting your energy towards this basket. Just see it as a catcher of goodness. As it catches the goodness, it sends it back out into the world, blessing so many people.
Yes.
So together, repeat after me. Thank you, Pure Spirit.
Thank you, Pure Spirit.
Thank you for this opportunity to give freely.
Thank you for this opportunity to give freely.
I'm so grateful to have the means to give.
I'm so grateful to have the means to give.
And I hold this energy for all in the world.
And I hold this energy for all in the world.
With a grateful heart,
With a grateful heart,
I let it be.
I let it be.
And so it
And
is.
so it is.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes. Barb and Salo. Oh, do you have something else you got to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. No any good jokes?
I don't, but I bet you do.
No.
Oh, I love to laugh. And here's one of our favorite songs by Karen Drucker, Relax and Let Go. So if you got a little doo-wop in you, let it go. I relax, let go, release. surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well.
And so it is.
That was great.
Way to rock the house.
That's right. So I invite you to join us on Zoom right after the service and share your aha moments. There's the links in the comments. Is that correct?
Yes.
To join us on Zoom. And remember to go to our website and just sign up to get the weekly email so that you know what's going on and you can. Oh, good. The Zoom link's right here too. So that's it for me.
Indeed. That's all, folks.
So,
We'll bring back the gang so we can say goodbye.
and then we'll do our final benediction.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys too.
Oh, I just,
Yay.
yay.
So close your eyes and join me as we recognize that pure spirit is everywhere present. So it's right where each one of us is in its fullness, lacking nothing, limited by nothing, bound by nothing. This day is the day that God has made, and we all rejoice in it. And as this day unfolds, all the things that you receive today multiplies in your consciousness and you expand into your greater yet to be. You're on your path of glory to greater glory. For this, I give thanks, knowing that it is so. I release, I let go, and I say, and so it is.
So it is.
So it
So it
is.
is.
So it is.
Thank you all.
All right. Join us on Zoom. We'll have fun together.
Yes.
Yes,
peace.
we will.
Keep laughing.
Yeah. Yes.
Having fun.
We have been having fun.